of thing.
All right. Okie dokie. So welcome back to the Lucy Pod. Did you give me that idea?
I don't think I did.
Who did? No, it was you.
Was it?
I think
did I
it
just
might
say
be.
the Lucy Pod?
I think you did. So credit to you.
Oh wow, how imaginative of me.
I know, it's a very clever one. So I'm sat with my good friend Sam. So we're going to insert a big round of applause for Sam. So.
Oh.
Yay!
Yeah.
So like I said earlier, Sam is a Bachelor of Music student and he's at the University of Melbourne. So now you have to tell us one
right.
fun fact about yourself, like a uni icebreaker.
Okay, putting me on the spot here. I have a weird rib cage.
What does that mean?
I had asthma when I was a kid, and so I have slightly protruding
Rib
bottom
cage.
ribs.
Can you do any fun things with it?
No, it just
it
does
just-
that.
Oh, that's
It's-
not very fun.
No, it's not. But that's just the first thing that
I have asthma and my
popped into
rib's
my head.
weird. My rib
Yeah.
cage. So we're gonna start with background questions to get a profile going. So obviously,
Right.
we all did online uni last year.
Yes.
In 2020. So what subjects did you do?
Right. Well, I did practical music, which is kind of my major. Classical piano kind of situation.
Yep.
Music history, music theory, Italian, choir. We can get into that.
Oh yeah, we will.
Yeah. Oh, what else did I do? Musics of the World, which was like an
nice.
ethnomusicology kind of situation. That was a lot of fun.
Yep.
Was there anything else?
That's a lot of subjects.
Those are the important ones.
That feels like a lot of subjects.
Yeah, I'm sure there's ones I'm missing.
Yeah. Okay. And when did you start online uni? Because everyone kind of started it at different points. Did you go straight in?
So there was, oh gosh, this is testing my memory a bit. So there was the first 4 weeks of actual uni.
Yep.
And then when they shut down, we didn't go into it immediately. There was a week for the faculty to get their stuff together. So there was a bit of a break there.
And how did you find that? Going from...
It was good because it meant I had a week to practice.
Good.
But I think the experience was a bit mixed in some ways. For some subjects handled that transition better than others. Things I think ticked up slightly better in semester 2, but semester 1 was a bit of a shambles.
So how were your classes delivered? What was the setup for you?
Okay, well, there's in some ways a divide between my practical major, which is in some ways the sticking point, and my more theory content-based sort of subjects. So for practical music, my teacher and I tried using Zoom, but it didn't really work.
It doesn't.
My teacher had internet problems, that sort of thing. So what it ended up being was that for the entirety of the year, I was recording videos of myself playing and receiving written feedback on them, which is obviously not ideal.
No.
Yeah. And because my teacher is a gun, he's incredible teacher, I still got some really good feedback out of it.
Yeah.
So,
but
it definitely made the whole experience a bit more draining.
Yeah.
Because most of the time you go into the lesson and the piece is in whatever condition it's in, right? You play the thing, you get the feedback, you workshop stuff, whatever.
Yep.
If you didn't do so well the last week, then you get into the lesson, you play mediocre, the teacher tells you things to fix, and then you go home and practice. Whereas when you're recording a video, it puts so much more pressure on you to give a better performance.
Yeah.
Because you know you can do it again. And I'm a raging perfectionist, so...
It was a lot. And so how were your theory classes done? So practical was that, and then theory and more content. How did you do that?
So music history in semester 1 was probably the subject that was best adapted. So they had really clear modules for each week.
Good.
And so it's here's a video lecture.
Yep.
Here's the stuff you need to know for your tute.
Yep.
Here's the whatever you need to be working on for your next assignment. So it's in a given week, it's right there in front of you. Here's what I need to be doing. My tute's on this day. The prep material's here. My lecture's on this day. The reading for that, if I'm interested, is there. All good.
Beautiful. I'm glad to hear that.
Zoom tute each week.
Yeah.
To talk through stuff. Our tutor was brilliant. She left plenty of time to just ask dumb questions, which you kind of need.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, that was awesome. Music language was, which is the theory subject, was kind of similar. Not as well laid out, but still pretty good.
That's good. And how was choir? That's
Choir,
the one
okay.
I'm really interested in, because I also did music, but I didn't have to do choir.
Yeah,
and that would be
This was in semester 1.
Yeah.
So for the first few weeks we had actual rehearsals. And as COVID started to become a thing, the rehearsals got more and more convoluted. The last rehearsal was insane. So they had us in there. They had us all like painstakingly filed us in one by one, made sure we were all socially distanced. And then at the end, you know, the director had the bright idea. In some ways I got it, but it was like, let's bring everyone on stage to sing, like, or not everyone, like some of the like tenors and basses on stage to sing, so that everyone else can hear them. Which, okay, musically is a great decision, COVID wise. Oh my goodness, because it meant that we had to file everyone back downstairs again, socially distanced. Make sure we're socially distanced on the stage.
Yeah. You're singing and there's spit coming out of your mouth.
There was one dude who had like sunnies and a full painter's mask and a hood, and he rocked up to choir like that. It was hilarious.
Well, you'd have to imagine being in. It's like a reign of COVID.
Well, the problem with that was why it got shut down after that. And so what we did for the rest of the semester was we sat in a Zoom rehearsal with our cameras on, so that the choir coordinator could watch us and make sure we were singing. So we were kind of just there awkwardly.
Your mic could be off. You could be miming.
No, mic was off, because otherwise it was a cacophony, right? But like, it was so far removed from what an actual ensemble experience is like, because you're listening to the piano accompaniment, and just singing to yourself.
Yeah, and you don't know how you sound with your section, your face. You're just like.
I'm getting all kinds of flashbacks.
How did you know? Like, how did they know? Okay, the altos are singing the right line. They just didn't.
You just didn't. And so then at the end of here's the interesting thing. The end project was supposed to be a concert, which I was super hyped for. Great repertoire. Yeah. We had like a longer list.
Yeah. When
COVID happened, the list got cut down and lost a couple of ones that I really enjoyed. There was, I think it was a Debussy and a Rachmaninoff that we both lost.
Oh, they're obsessed with Rachmaninoff at Melbourne Uni. We had to do Rachmaninoff for choir.
Which one did you do?
It was...
We did Bogorodice Dievo.
That's the one
It's so good.
Yes, it's so beautiful. That's the one we did. And it's so Mozart. And so, I loved it.
But then it just got cut. But we also did, and this was cool. We did some Calvin Bowman arrangements. Oh, not arrangements. I think they were originally written for solo voice, so arrangements.
Okay, yeah.
And so that the pieces were lovely.
Amazing,
but we didn't get to hear them ever in the full, like in the room with people, because we didn't do it in the first few weeks of rehearsal. So anyway, the final project was supposed to be a concert. First, the program got cut down, and then also it's like, well, hang on, this isn't going away anytime soon. Yeah. So we're going to record videos. We're going to all send in videos, and someone's going to splice them together. So I did that. Like I did a bit of practice, because I was like, since someone's going to be individually scrutinizing each video, I need to make sure my singing's a bit better. So I practiced.
Good.
And recorded the video. I was one of the first people to submit, so mine kind of ended up in a proof edit, which I got to see, which was cool. And then the final product never materialized.
I was getting really excited.
I know, yeah.
And then I got an award, and now I'm going to study music overseas.
Yeah, but the final product just never materialized. Probably because it was too much editing work across the 2 or 3 pieces.
Yeah.
And possibly also because there were probably people who didn't submit. Would be I suspect.
I don't blame that.
Because the last thing we heard from them was the ensemble coordinator making a video saying, "Guys, please submit your recordings. Like, please." You can do it. And it was really sad in some ways, because like it was never going to be good.
No.
Because we couldn't do choir in person.
And I love your optimism. It was never going to be good.
Well, it was never going to be as good as it could have been.
No, absolutely not.
But it at least could have been something. It's like, hey, here's the thing that we did together. Given despite the circumstances.
Who was the director, the choir director?
Oh, it's bad that I've forgotten his name. He was like a majestic dude with a beard.
Is he the... I think I had him. Is he the one who has face blindness? Did he announce that to you guys?
I don't remember.
Because my choir director said, I have face blindness, so I don't remember like faces. Right. Not in like I don't remember. And he said, so if you guys do something wrong, I won't remember next week. And he said, and there's too many faces to remember. He had glasses.
I can't remember.
Really out there?
Well, I can't... I
feel like...
I can't visualize it, but yeah.
Have you got facial blindness?
No.
I can't visualize
No, just can't visualize anything.
Anything, okay. Yeah, so that... Jeez,
yeah, so
mess.
anyway, choir was probably the thing that adapted worst. Jumping right down the list.
Of course. There's no such thing as an online choir, I don't think.
And the thing that he was telling us about, which was interesting, and we watched a couple of examples of this, most online choirs are unison.
That's right. They are too when you watch them. And you were not.
Well, we were trying to do parts, and from the demo video actually sounded decent.
Good,
but it's a lot of work. Like, you have to mix
only
do you have to mix each person, you have to mix each section.
Yeah, and you got to have a team for that. I mean,
it was just one dude. There was some poor bloke who they'd said, can you put the videos together for us? Oh. And I doubt he knew what he was getting into.
No, he probably thought, just like do a little video collage.
Yeah, exactly.
A little acapella and...
Well, the proof videos, there was some cool stuff. Like, he didn't just have, here's a wall of screens. He had people like fading in and out, and it looked cool. But it's just a hell of a lot of work. It's like...
Oh, damn it. And so how did you find your classes? Did you have a sort of a routine? Because when I talked to Trent about this, he said he would just roll out of bed and get on and do his work. And I said to him, someone who's ADHD, getting out of bed 5 minutes before class is... Yeah. It's not feasible. I can't do it. How did you do it? What was your setup?
I found it so overwhelming. Mm-hmm. Like, it was just weird. Because I've always been chronically like an early riser, like just involuntarily, okay, we're awake now kind of thing. Yeah. I didn't find that actually getting to the classes aspect of it particularly tricky, but it took a lot of adjusting because my tendency was to just, sit in my room and it's like, I have 5 minutes before my next class. Yeah. It was really hard to find motivation to, for example, get up and have a drink of water or anything like that. Yeah. And also, in some ways, to keep track of what I actually had. Because I had a calendar set up. Mm-hmm. But Canvas seemed to also import 50 gajillion other people's classes. And so it was like, I like being able to get up and move around and okay, I'm going to this place to do this thing. And then I'm going to this place to study. But I found the whole... just constantly sitting in front of my computer thing really difficult. And it meant that by the time, I'd done my classes for the day, I didn't have a whole lot of motivation to get up and practice. Yep.
It's like, you put almost so much energy into, I'm going to sit down, do my classes. And then at the end, when you're meant to do the homework, it's like, you know what? No, I really cannot and don't want to do that because sitting in front of it, and I would forget to do those helpful things, get up and stretch, go and have a drink of water, have a fruit, walk your dogs. And I couldn't because it felt like a trap online uni, you can't get out of it. I felt if I would get up to go get something, I'd miss something or someone would skip over. I couldn't visualize the day.
Yeah, and it's
a mess. Yeah.
Yeah, and there was so much of it too that you don't necessarily feel like you have space. No. It's, as soon as I wake up, it's like, heck, I've got to get ready and do stuff. And then by the time you get through to the class, it's like, I have an hour before my tute, but I haven't had time to do the reading yet. Yeah. So I guess I'm just still sitting at my computer and doing the reading for the tute and then directly onto the tute and then...
Or just not doing the reading like I would.
Well, look, that happened as well.
Oh, there's those moments where, it's a terrible thing. Some days when I'd be on online uni, I'd get into this hyper-focus mode where I would smash through the work. I was so focused, knew everything that was going on, looking at my peers going, I'm so organized. And then the next day, I'd be hyper-focusing on Sims 4. And then I'd be like, right, so I have 10 essays to write. Yeah. And I built a mansion on Sims, which is great.
I think it's midway through the year, I released, I was like, oh, look, I'm for some reason I'm going to make an EP in a week. Because I had a bunch of little song concepts that my sister and I had come up with while we were stuffing around. We come up with these just random little hooks. We call them Amy's earworms. And one of them literally went, I've got 2 assignments due next week, but I'm writing this song instead.
That sounds way more productive than building a house on Sims. And it was terrible because on Sims, I would actually make my characters go to university and I was concerned about how well they were doing. And I'm thinking, hang on, I've got work to do. But I'd be like, hang on, Lucy on Sims has not done her assignment.
Yeah.
And I would sit down and Trent would be like, what are you doing? I'm doing an exam on Sims. He's like, sorry, on Sims. Yeah, I'll do the essay later, but Lucy online needs to get this done. And then you had, like, did you find it distracting being on your computer? Like, did you have another tab open?
Sometimes, but it was mainly because, like, I tried to be really conscientious about it, because if I made a habit of also doing dopamine things on my computer, in addition to the uni stuff. Dopamine thing.
I like
if I got in that habit, then that would be another thing keeping me chained to my computer. And so I knew that would make things worse, but it got to a point, especially during choir. I have no reservations about
just
saying
say choir,
especially
and we know.
During choir. Like those rehearsals.
Yeah, you can cuss.
Mind numbing.
Yeah.
And so I would, definitely in those, other tabs were being opened.
I had no, it's terrible. I don't condone this. I had no shame. I would have my teacher literally talking to us, like directly addressing me, and I would just have TikTok open. And
I'm so glad I never installed TikTok. That's the one thing I don't regret from 2020.
It's seriously, because it was so funny being on TikTok, because you'd see all these online uni memes, and then I'd be like, oh, look at all these people being on, like, posting TikToks when they should be learning. Too. And then I'm thinking, hang on, they're posting TikToks, but I'm freaking watching them when my teacher's literally addressing me, and the way I would she'd say, so Lucy, what did you get? I agree with that. It was a question.
You know, it's like Tim said.
So like Tim said, there's no Tim in this class. Yeah, anyway, you know what? So other tabs were open. Did you find, though, that if you had the tabs open, you could still focus on everything else? Or would you be like, I spent, an hour building a Sims house and I did not understand anything?
I'm an auditory learner.
Okay.
Well, I'm an auditory everything.
And then there's me who has auditory processing issues.
And this was in some ways probably not a good thing, but it meant that I could be looking at something else and processing what was going on and probably also retaining it.
Oh, so lucky.
I know, in some ways, lucky.
That's really lucky, because if I were to be on my laptop now and you'd be chatting to me, it's either my laptop that I'm looking at or listening to you.
I think there were some times where it might have been good for me to be able to actually tune out. It's like, I feel
Too
like...
much?
Yeah, in some ways, like I said, it gets really draining and tiring over time. Yeah. So it's one of those things where it's like, all right, well, what's worse? The state I was in at the end of this year, or the middle of this year, or last year. Gets so confusing. Yeah, the state I was in.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
Or getting 1 point less on the quiz because I zoned out for a little.
Mm-hmm. And how did you find assignments, like doing them? Because I found that I'm basically a child. I need people to hold me accountable. So when I'm at uni, I find that when there's assignments coming up, you're told, this assignment's going to be due. Let's look through it in class. Let's talk about it. You've got people around you. Whereas if you're given an assignment online, I feel like it just sits there. And then a night before, which I never do, ever, but since being online, I'd start the assignment.
So this is part of where some of my subjects transferred okay. So, like, with Italian, the content on the LMS was really, really poorly sequenced. Italian was one of the subjects that didn't adapt so well.
Okay.
It was really hard to figure out what you had to do at any given moment. Usually in-person learning. Yeah, like you like you say, you'd have, remember there's an assignment.
Yeah.
It's a little thing.
Yeah.
But because you're talking to people about it,
it's there. There's the assignment. Yeah.
Whereas it's like, okay, and this is and I actually got the opportunity to be involved in like a student forum thing. They were doing some research and they brought some people in to talk about the whole online learning experience.
Yeah.
And the thing I said in that is that there's a very subtle difference. I used Italian and music history as my examples. There's a subtle difference between the way those two are arranged that changes them completely.
The whole thing, yeah.
In music history, content was sequenced by week with the stuff for each category within that. It's like,
nice.
With Italian, the groupings were by category, and then you had to go in there and dive for each thing.
That's exactly
which means
the same.
That anytime you need to look for something, to find out what you do in a given week, if it's week 1, you have to go Lingua 1, week 1.
That's exactly how
Lingua
my
2,
Italian was
week
this
2.
semester. And exactly. And I remember we'd be in a tutorial and they'd say, can you get out the sheet of this? And I swear it would take me almost 10 minutes to find it because it's...
If you even had known it was there.
I had known it was there. And then someone would say, oh, it was in this folder, didn't you see? I'm like, I didn't know.
There are so many folders. In a semester where there's already so much to keep track of.
Mm-hmm. And other subjects.
Absolutely. Yeah, exactly. When classes are, what you're doing in all of your subjects at once.
Yeah.
You really need to be able to just look at one place and see what you need to be doing.
Agreed. Yep.
And so, yeah, when you have to go menu diving or folded... Well, yeah, that's a, like, software design thing, the idea of menu diving. Like, you shouldn't have to go through 50 gajillion menus to find the thing you need to do.
It's like a treasure hunt, or like a... No, not even like those... It's like a rally, like pass it on,
and so,
mess.
All of that thing, because I find it hard enough to strike a balance between work and
life
as
which
it is.
is...
I know it's so cliched,
but
it's
it's
true. Like, because my mind's always active, so obviously the thing that I'm going to think about is uni and work and stuff. Mm-hmm. And when there's even more things to hang over my head, it's like when I have to expend energy thinking about those sorts of things, like what do I have to do when that question becomes so complex to answer?
And where can I find it? Like, where's the work I need to do?
So that makes all the difference in the world. And for someone like me, and as we were saying before the recording, it's like it's good to get a neurotypical kind of perspective on this.
Yeah.
As a mostly neurotypical person, that was tough for me.
There you go.
I can only imagine how hard it would be. Like, so interestingly, and I also, my sister has a variety of specific learning disabilities.
Yeah.
So she hasn't been
twins.
Yeah. We should... You guys still haven't met.
I know.
I was saying to Amy... Well, sorry, Amy was saying to me, when we start our podcast, which I don't know if that's actually going to happen, we should bring Lucy on so I have an excuse to talk to her.
Yeah, twins.
You should meet her. It'd be great.
I would love to. I really would.
So she picked up distance ed at the beginning of the year, which was online anyway, but just the amount of work was debilitating.
And for a brain, and you got to look at it like, not that you're I'm infantilizing myself, but people who have learning difficulties in ADHD, it's like a very vulnerable little brain, kind of like a baby.
Absolutely.
And then you're giving it all this work, and it's like, oh,
and it's like, no. I've used that distance ed school's Moodle system. It's tricky.
Oh,
like, it's difficult.
I had Moodle for music.
It's not easy to understand what you have to do. And so when it's already a not quite manageable amount of work.
Yeah.
And you have to use a heck of a lot of mental energy to even figure out what you're doing and
to get ready.
Understand
absolutely
your goals.
Mm-hmm.
It gets really easy to fall behind.
Yep. Oh, I'm there. Like, I remember saying to everyone, and not that I care what anyone thinks, but I used to say I had such a good work ethic when I was on campus, on the ball.
Yeah.
But then when I was online, I would do things that I would look at other people doing, going, how could you leave an assignment to the last minute? How could you have 3 assignments you haven't done? How have you fallen behind on 5 lectures? Like, I would never be able to do that. And then you do, and it never goes away. Like, I feel like, I don't know if you felt like this, but every time you do a task, another one would just appear. So you'd be like, I've written an essay, but here's another thing I've got to do. Did that thing, another thing. And it's just like, I would see a pile of books in my head that would never go away.
Well, at some point we could get around to the theatre project.
Yes.
Because
we need to hear about that.
We could talk about that now? Yep.
Yes,
right.
yeah.
So, for a bit of context, in Italian 6, which is, I don't know, like intermediate kind of...
You've either picked up really well or you're native.
Or you did like
Italian.
VCE, like me. Yeah. So in second semester of that, usually people do it in first year. In second semester of that, you do a theatre project. In our case, we did a radio play adaptation of Dario Fo's Non tutti i ladri vengono per nuocere.
And it's fantastic.
It's a great play.
It's hilarious. It's fast. Amazing.
Yeah. So when you did it, you did it in person.
In person, it was a gas. Hilarious.
Obviously, it had its challenges.
Absolutely, but.
Oh boy. Yeah. So in effect, doing it online. Okay, well, there's two aspects to it.
It just hurts my head.
Doing it
when you
online,
say
doing it online in general, all, adds all sorts of layers of logistical hassle because you can't just be there and talk to people and organize stuff
and micromanage people. You can't. That maybe says more about me.
Yeah. Secondly, the fact that there was no visual aspect. Because it was a radio play. Well, in the first place, how would you do a visual aspect online? So
slideshow.
The online, interestingly, the other half. So we got split into two smaller theatre companies. You can't see the quotation. They're air quotes.
There were big air quotes.
There were air quotes.
How do you do a sound effect for an air quote? There should be a sound effect
the other
for it.
Theatre company.
The theatre company, fuck's sake.
So they did basically a slideshow. So they put together like a set of photos.
Okay.
That was supposed to that went along with their audio track.
Okay.
That was supposed to represent. So I guess kind of the theory was they don't have to put in as much effort with the audio because they have that sort of visual aid.
Yeah.
But that lack of visual element, creatively, in terms of rehearsal work, for context, I was project managing sound and tech. So that kind of meant I was collaborating a bit with everyone. I worked with the directors, kind of steering the creative side of things, like this is what's going to work with sound, this is what isn't. I talked to the actors to make sure they understood what was going on.
Kind of like you were the director, in a way.
No, because I wasn't.
But still,
I wasn't doing the actual directorial legwork.
But you were.
Basically, I was
you
there.
Were the boss.
I was helping.
You were helping. I love Sam. He's like, I didn't do much. I'm like, he was the boss, guys.
I wasn't the boss. No, the actual bosses, Juliet and Giordano, put in so much work, and they did an amazing job. Actually, I should plug this, given how much work we put in. If you speak Italian, or even if you don't, you can just Google Italian 6 Compagnia, COMPA. I'm going to mess up the spelling.
NIA?
Yeah. There might be a G in there that I've missed. GNIA.
I'm going to put it in the description.
Yeah, put it in the description.
I'm going to put it in the description.
Beautiful.
Or as they say on YouTube, click the link down below.
Yeah, click the link down below.
And you get a 50% discount.
Yeah,
Sponsor.
So we put a reasonable amount of effort into making sure that it's accessible to English speakers. So to be honest, you won't catch as much, but you'll still hopefully find it interesting.
And it's hard to make a farce make sense.
Right.
Not only in English, but also in another language.
But anyway, that's a bit of a digression.
Yeah.
It added essentially my job, which is I was directing sound and helping someone else direct the tech aspect of things. And
just got a migraine.
Yeah, it was a lot of work. We had to think about what things couldn't be what things could
be.
Sorry. What things that would usually have a visual aspect that could be communicated in that way wouldn't be.
Yeah.
And needed a sound effect or a narrator line. So we introduced a narrator.
Wow, that's actually very clever.
Yeah. So that was that was the kind of first aspect of it, the kind of pre-production, sort of aspect. Then there was also post-production, which is an aspect that doesn't exist in a live in-person theatre play.
No.
For me, most of that fell on me. Thankfully, some of the people in the sound and tech team were able to help me with that, which I am so grateful for.
Yeah.
They didn't have to do that because
all
they had to kind of pick up the editing thing. That wasn't something they had experience with. So they learnt to pick up the tools and
because imagine if you didn't have a background in editing and you got put in charge of that. That would be...
It would have been brutal because it was enough of a time sink as is. So I edited rehearsal recordings so that those were rougher kind of edits, most of them. So I basically, when we recorded the rehearsals and the actual thing in Discord.
Yeah. Discord.
Yeah, with a bot called Craig. Craig was our personal hero. Who just recorded everyone, put everyone in nice, neat, separate tracks so that if there was a blip in someone's audio, I could just edit them specifically. So I spliced together and did rough cuts on those rehearsal recordings so that directors could listen back through and give feedback. I did a proof edit with most of the sound effects and voice effects. This was the other thing. I had to find and kind of design voice effects for when people were coming from a different room. Or outside, or whatever. Stuff that would usually just be a voice off stage. Or on the telephone. I had to design all the voice
Yeah, because you don't
effects
think
for that.
about that. Yeah.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And so I did a proof edit that included all that as well as the sound effects as well. And then I did the actual edit, which was gargantuan. If I hadn't had people helping me with... And like, that was just the rough cuts that they helped with. But if I had to do all that legwork, cutting out dead space where people had to go back and redo lines...
Pauses, coughs.
Fixing audio blips. The audio quality
varied
greatly, shall we say.
Yeah.
There were some people whose audios on the actual thing were so garbled that I had to go through and splice in their lines from rehearsals.
Wow. And how long did you have to do the project? Because surely you would have been given a lot. I can't remember how much we were given, but I hope it was a lot more.
We started in week 5 or 6.
And
so
then
we had like 5 or 6 weeks. Actually, we had, I would say, like 6 or 7 weeks to do the actual thing.
Okay, so that's okay. And how did so you had your thing, and how did other people find it? Like your classmates, what did they think of the mess?
Yeah.
I'm sure for some it was pretty stressful. Like you'd think, like, you know.
So directors, they
Yeah.
were putting in, I was telling you about this earlier,
Yeah.
they were putting in mad hours on Zoom. And in rehearsals and meetings, like they made some of the most comprehensive notes I've seen people make on anything. Like, and just copious amounts of it. Like they went through and annotated the script to hell and back. They went through...
What?
They did like full annotations on the script because like when you're doing your rehearsals with your actors on Zoom, you can't just wing it.
No.
They knew the script inside out. They went in and wrote detailed feedback for every single one of the rehearsal recordings.
Wow.
They gave me a crazy long list of things to fix for the final thing. We allowed an extra week so that I could submit a draft to them.
Jeez.
They went through and meticulously found every way it could conceivably be made better. They put in so much work.
And do you think it was worth it, or was it just like a strain?
This is the other thing that we touched on earlier.
Yeah.
Worth it from... That question of whether it was worth it needs to be answered from 2 different angles.
Yeah.
Artistically, because that's first and foremost where I'm coming from. I wouldn't have put 100 hours into a project that was only worth 35% of my grade if
you weren't interested.
If I wasn't interested artistically.
Yeah. If you weren't artistic. Yeah. If you were boring.
Yeah.
No, I'm not saying people aren't
so
artistic
in that
or boring.
sense, worth it.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've actually listened to the final product.
I need to listen to it. I have it saved, you know.
Yeah,
I literally have it saved, and I'm like, oh, I'll listen to that.
Yeah, of
I'm
course.
terrible. I need to listen to it after this. I'm going to listen.
Yeah. Well, if you check it out,
it's fantastic.
And listeners
I'm
as
sure.
well, it's one of the most polished,
Oh,
high quality
I won't be
things I've
disappointed.
ever put together.
Mm.
Like it dwarfs my music stuff. Legitimately, because I'm with music stuff. I'd like put a bit of time into one thing and then I move on and do something else.
Very ADHD of you. Just moving on. Like one sim mansion after another.
I mean, look, if you that EP I mentioned earlier, Amy's Earworms.
How's that going?
Amy's Earworms Volume 1 on Bandcamp.
Is it on That's not leaving things. That's...
No. As in, that's the one I made in a week.
Okay.
So the mixing, for example, Trent was hilarious about this.
Oh, really?
The listeners will hopefully know Trent.
Yeah. They heard from him.
Yeah. He described the mix for one of the songs downstairs as like I was singing to him from the inside of a toilet cubicle. Because that's what it sounds like. Because I tried...
Charming!
I tried to go for this like spacey vibe with reverb and panning.
You want it to be kind of like ecclesiastical, like...
No? Yeah, almost.
And then...
But in like a kind of pop ballad kind of context.
Okay, yeah.
But because it was rushed, it just sounds like I'm singing to you
it's okay.
from the inside of a
guys,
toilet cubicle.
He did film inside of a toilet cubicle, and it's okay
I
to
have
admit
done
that. I have too. My video for my singing project, one of them, Tudi, was not in a cubicle, it was in my shower. So I wasn't in a cubicle.
Yeah, I acted in one of my friend's media films, and there was a fight scene inside a bathroom.
Did I see this? Was this the one I saw?
This was Schroman's. I don't know if you saw it.
Is it the...
Called Where's Mac?
Oh, were you in another one as well? Or was that Trent's, the black and white one that was like a murder?
That was Trent's.
And were you in that as well?
I was in that.
You were really good. And I was like,
Thanks.
who else is in this? Yeah, and so it sounded like...
What was I going to say? Yeah, so anyway, it was rushed.
So it was rushed,
It was rushed. And that's kind of how I work in some ways. I found that, like, I'm kind of gradually pushing up the overall quality by trying to expose myself to as much stuff as possible, make as many things as possible, because things that I've tried to put lots of time and attention into often just end up being underwhelming.
Yeah.
So all of which is a really long roundabout way of saying this radio play is probably one of the most polished things I've ever made.
Yeah, so it was worth it.
Artistically. Yeah, it was really amazing to have a thing that I listen back and go, wow.
That's good. But the question is, would you do it again online like that?
No.
Would you have found it easier to do it if, let's say, you were doing in-person classes, but they wanted to have
an audio finished product?
An audio?
Okay. With COVID, not feasible.
Without COVID.
So without COVID,
beautiful.
Cool, we can all get in a studio.
Yeah.
But with COVID, and Matteo was suggesting that we do that, our teacher, Matteo. But in the end, we just decided that it was, because this was like in the middle of the second wave that he was talking about, like this. Like, hopefully this will have gone away by the end of the semester.
Yeah.
And it's like, we couldn't be changing plans like that. We needed to commit to either recording it in studio, which we couldn't commit to because of COVID, or we needed to commit to doing it online because of the work that would require. We can't at the last minute do it online. It's
interesting. It's like, I always dreamed and thought, if I ever have to do online university, everything will be so much faster and easier because you're told that like internet technology makes things easier, but it really...
Well, it meant that actually in some ways, look...
For that I would just...
We still would have needed to have project managers meetings to make something that polished. And so we would have had to have that meetings at a time. Having them on Zoom meant that we could do them at 7 p.m. on a Friday night.
That is true.
It wasn't all negatives.
Yeah.
But I think when it all adds up in terms of the amount of like work the actors needed to do in rehearsals, how much more time and effort rehearsals and recording took, it just blew the scope of the task out so much.
Yeah.
And so in that sense, I definitely wouldn't do it again in the same way.
No.
And definitely, this gets back to the other angle that you have to look at the question from, which is uni-wise, academically.
Yeah.
This project, the radio play, took up every waking moment of my thoughts in some way or another, because
and that's not good.
Constantly had to manage the creative aspect of things. There were always logistical questions.
And it takes away from your other commitments.
Well, this is the thing. It's actually, again, only 35% of my breadth.
Yeah.
It wasn't my diploma at the time. I've since made it my diploma.
Yeah.
But it impacted my practice for piano.
I'm sure. Oh, yeah.
I still got into the performance stream, which was a relief.
Yeah.
But it wasn't as, like, part of me was kind of hoping to get an 80 in practical. So I was clearly in performance. I got like a 77.
Okay,
which is like
that's
still good.
Really,
it's
really
still,
good.
I'm still happy with it. Like, I mean, it was a mess day of the recital though.
Oh,
that's the thing. Like, it was a bit too close for comfort. Like, if I hadn't had that project, I probably would have been mentally a lot more with it for the recital, and I would have practiced more.
I think that was the same for me though for my music project, which you helped me with. Not to say that I didn't care, but ultimately now I look back, I was doing a extra music subject at Melbourne Polytechnic, which didn't go towards anything with my degree. That's not to say that I shouldn't have tried, I paid for it and everything, but it consumed everything. This small recital that in the grand scheme of things, I did well, but it doesn't matter. It took up everything. And then I had mountains of other work I had to do that counted.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it was worth it. I really don't know if it was worth it. And the teacher was like, you put so much in, you guys, it was worth doing this. And I'm thinking, I don't think it was. I wouldn't do it again.
Yeah.
I really,
It's
really
brutal.
wouldn't.
When you're in the kind of fields that we're in,
Yeah.
you're kind of coming at this from like a creative writing,
Yeah,
music, languages,
Unemployed,
kind of perspective.
Bachelor of Arts.
Yeah.
I'm going to be unemployed.
Or whatever you like, whatever the term is, like soft disciplines.
Yeah.
There's no done. So whatever it is, arts, music, fine arts, whatever.
Yeah.
There's always going to be something that is taking up headspace all of the time.
Oh.
So, for example, with me...
And it's not cute either, like being hyper-focused on something like, I'm so dedicated. It's not... No.
Right.
Sam's like, it might be.
Well, in some ways. Like, there's what I'm trying to get at is there's good things and bad things to
Absolutely.
it. So, it can be healthy and it can be very unhealthy. I'm, as a music student, mainly there to get good at my instrument.
Yep.
I've also signed on for a diploma of languages because I'm stupid.
No, you're not.
But, no, in terms of, like, life
the workload, like, why did you do that?
But, like,
yeah.
ultimately, if something's going to give, if I'm going to, like, just get an okay grade in something, it'll be the languages. Like, I can afford to let my languages grade slip a little. Like, who cares about WHAM?
Yeah. It's not an ATAR. Yeah, no. Unless you need it, for a post-grad and you need a specific one.
So the reason why I could justify the decision to take on the diploma is because I don't think it'll pull me too far away from the thing that I'm mainly there for.
Yeah.
It's enough for music to already be taking up so much of my headspace.
Yeah.
And then have things that I go to. So like, and this is kind of the being glued in front of my computer thing. It's helpful when you're in those sorts of soft disciplines to have things that you can go to.
Yep, agreed.
Do.
And nice.
Then come home and be done.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, whatever, I didn't get as much as I should have done when I was at the library working on my Italian stuff, whatever. Now I'm home, I'm going to practice. Or now I've gone over to the practice room and I'm going to practice.
And I'm going to do my, And the other question I had is, obviously this like the generic one, and I'm sure the unis say they want to know, but what do you think could have been done better specifically? Because I feel like people are a little scared, and I have no issue saying what Melbourne Uni did wrong. I'm grateful that I'm there, but Melbourne Uni stuffed up in a lot of ways. And
to be honest, it's hard to know.
Yeah.
Like,
it's a hard question.
When you're dealing with like that second wave could have gotten really bad.
Yeah.
Like, we don't think about it in those sorts of terms because the daily case numbers stopped at a point. We got it under control. Yeah.
And we do now. Yay.
Right.
For now.
But like, it's so easy for that question to become, this was so bad. Well, actually, there was a higher order need here.
Yeah.
Like, this was a serious situation.
Yeah.
And
an unexpected
that's gonna adversely affect your education.
Yeah.
No matter what.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Having said that though,
you're like, now.
There's a lot of little things.
Yeah.
That could have just been changed.
And make things easier.
This is why I agreed to do that consult thing that I was telling you about earlier, because genuinely just organize your LMS.
Yeah. Which should be done regardless if you're online.
Right. And so that's a little thing.
Yeah.
That
makes
would have added quality of life. We have the technology to make sure that the only things people see on their Canvas calendar
is what they need to see.
Stuff that's relevant to them. And it was terrible for me because I had my Canvas calendar synced to my actual calendar. Because I needed that to be able to see where my Zooms were.
Yeah.
And so that, like, even just having a cluttered calendar all the time that I had to sort through.
And there's no excuse really to have
that.
There's
it's just
really not on.
Like, there's actually just a setting there. Like, this event is for this group.
Yeah. And it's just a click. We're not asking for coding.
You know what? It's probably a few hours work to sort all the content in the module section by week.
It takes time.
It takes effort.
But it can be done.
And the educational, and I'm also coming at this as a teacher in some ways. Like, the educational...
I'm surrounded by teachers.
The educational benefits to that are just so huge.
Yeah.
Like... I mean, like, if I gave my students I don't know, like 50, like if my notes for my students, like note taking in classes is something that I've had to kind of get better at.
Remind me to ask you about that actually.
Right.
Note taking.
But like note taking classes is something I've had to learn, and it's still not something I'm the best at.
Yeah, me neither.
But the idea for me of giving students like just like 15 pages of stuff that they have to sift through.
Yeah.
That's I mean, like it's not something that it's not something that you can do.
No.
Because I'm writing all my notes by hand. But the point is, gee, I'm making this very coherent.
Yeah, no. I'm following. I can follow.
Yeah, I guess what I'm getting at is if I gave, I'm trying to. Sorry, half of this will probably just get cut out.
Trent, cut it out. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. No, and now they need to hear that just for the extra kind of humorous aspect.
Because the podcast is not funny.
Sam's challenged.
Sam's challenged. Sam's challenged.
Okay, what am I trying to say? Basically, it's important that the notes I give my students are clear.
Yeah.
Because if they're
not
to the extent that they're practicing, I don't know how much my students practice. They need to know what they're going to work on.
Yeah.
And I don't expect them to retain everything from lessons.
No, that's not. No.
So, I love it. So,
more comedy. Yeah. So you don't expect them to retain.
Yeah. So like if I wrote, this is a phrase at bar 56.
Yeah.
Phrases are a set of notes. So it's like it's.
I'm not challenged.
I mean, I'm not sure this actually needs an analogy in some ways. I just, for some reason, I'm determined to try and use one anyway. Yeah. The point is, they shouldn't have information to sift through.
No. And that's what I felt like I had to do. And that's actually a really good point.
So the thing I've had to learn how to do is be direct in the notes I give my students.
Whilst also making them think a little.
I can literally just say, bar 37, taper off at the end of this phrase.
Yeah, do it.
Practice this section, hands separate. Yeah. Practice this bit, hands together. Yeah. Practice this bit slowly, practice this bit.
I don't want to maze. And that's, you know what? And that makes me think of my year 12 English teacher who would give feedback like that. And you'd think for a subject in English that it shouldn't be like that, but I need to be told this, you do this here. You do that there, don't do this here, here's a checklist.
And the handwritten notes I give my students are automatically sorted by week.
Yep, and that's how it should, and that's exactly how it should be. And I found in one of my subjects, it was global human rights law, which was a very difficult subject because it'd gone from being a major subject to a breadth. I found that I was having to teach myself a lot. This isn't to say that my tutors didn't teach me or anything like that, but I felt like the content that was being given was just a bunch of tort law, a bunch of policies, numbers, dates, and I had to look those things up and highlight and say, okay, that means that. I felt like I was decoding work, and I don't think that's right. And even though you're an adult, you should know how to do this. I'm at uni to be taught. I'm not at uni to teach myself. This isn't like a new age university module. Give me coherent notes, because I can't. And especially in music. Well, you just do that. No, I need it written down. What am I doing here? You want me to do that there? Okay. And my music teacher was really good with that. She'd say, this is how you do this. Okay, write it down, blah, blah. And I'm going to send you the notes. I can't have you do that, I guess. And here's like a bunch of stuff. It needs to be a list.
Direct.
It needs to be direct. I can't have a maze. I don't decode. I can't. It needs to be...
But, and this is where I think in some ways the issue of neurodiversity learning difficulties can become distracting because... You notice it in your case or in my sister's case. Yeah. But imagine how much, like, the little impacts it has on everyone add up.
Yeah.
Like, if even a few people have been as mildly inconvenienced by this stuff as I have.
Yeah.
And look, looking back on it, it's easy to say mildly inconvenienced. At some points, it was really damaging.
Upsetting. Yeah, damaging. I mean, like, it was upsetting, like, it was damaging. Yeah. It was. No, it was. No, it's like, very damaging.
But yeah. Think about how much that adds up over the entire student body. Or even the entire class of people doing a certain subject.
Disastrous.
As a teacher, you have like a basic level of responsibility to teach a subject in the way you would want to be taught it.
Unless you want to be taught badly.
Yeah,
Then,
well,
unless you're just...
I don't have anything to say to people like that.
I don't know why you became a teacher. Did you also, thinking of that about teachers have a responsibility, did you find, maybe I'm just projecting, a lot of my teachers, I'm not going to specify who, said, because, like these were their words, because you're not doing much and you guys don't have anywhere to go, you should be doing the work. So their logic was, we'll give them all this work because, I mean, they're not going out. What better would they have to do? And it's like, I don't know, play Sims and sleep. I do have a life,
right.
you know?
Or
did you feel like you were being overloaded?
Or if you're a music student, like in the case of playing Sims and having a life, I did also, in my case, playing Minecraft and have a life. Like
Same.
I'm not going to
pretend.
I'm not going to pretend I'm a perfectly conscientious person who's always working all the time.
Yeah, Minecraft's the thing.
But for a music student, that's like the thing that any person delivering any music subject should have in mind is that their students need to be practicing. Like, even if, like, especially in first year, when everyone's doing practical music, it's important. You should, like, and this is actually something I'm not going to whinge about. No. Because this is actually generally something I'm grateful for. I think
that's what you sign up for.
I think most of my teachers in music handled that pretty well.
That's good.
It felt like...
So did mine, yep.
Yeah, like, and so, in that sense, I'm mostly not going to complain about it.
No. And it wouldn't make sense. Like, you can't do a music subject and think, I don't have to practice. Like that.
Yes.
That's silly.
Well, I'm saying that should be applied to everything in the Bachelor of Music. Yeah. I think I even think ethnomusicology teachers should
do that.
Should be aware of that their students have practice. Yep. Because, like, I think there can exist a toxic mentality where it's like, actually, to make this work, you need to be getting up at 6 a.m. every day to practice. It's like...
I immediately shook my head.
I mean, like, I know a lot of music students who
do that?
Whose mental health really suffered from a workload that's built on those sorts of assumptions. Like, and so, for example, I think flexibility is hugely important in that sort of context. And so, for example, in subjects where it's possible to record, to have lectures recorded and have seminars recorded or whatever, they should be recorded and uploaded immediately. Yeah. That's not a huge ask.
No, I agree.
In fact, that should be the case in literally every subject.
Yep.
I'd be pretty confident. I'd be pretty confident making that a generalization, but especially in music, the number of times where my practice suffered because of when stuff was scheduled. It's in some ways it's a weird thing to be whinging about, but like the number of times that I skipped classes because I need to practice, and then something went wrong with the video. It's like...
And then you get stuck on that.
Yeah, and this, like, given that we have this technology, I feel like that should be a priority. Making, like...
Yeah.
And the staff, in some ways, like, I don't want to take a dig at staff. Because all of them understand that that's what music students are there for. Shame. Like, that's what the institution's actually for. Yeah. In a lot of ways. And it's the same no matter what actually discipline you go into within music, or in general. Yep. Like, if you're going into composition, you should have time to be sketching and arranging and stuff. If you're going into ethnomusicology, you should have time to go out and talk to people and go to gigs and listen. And read
it's like being a ballerina almost. Like, you practice. That takes up your time. Like, it's a silly example, but you think ballerinas train. You're like athletes.
There's a really simple way, actually, that the jazz and improv department at Uni Melb handles this. And it's
why don't you all have a contemporary department?
It doesn't instantly fix the problem, but it's a nice touch. What they do is they don't have any classes before 10 or 11 or whatever time it is. Yeah. Because they expect
They assume students, you know to practice.
No, well, not just practice. They expect people to be going out and either playing gigs or going to gigs.
No.
Because that's kind of that's how jazz specifically works. It's a social music. There's no concept of just lock yourself in a room. I mean, some great jazz musicians did that for periods of time. But it's a music that you have to be out gigging. You have to be having jam sessions with your friends at stupid hours in the morning, or like late night or whatever.
No. You know what? And I would say that is the same with learning a language. Is that, of course, it's great to show up to your class on time, but part of learning a language, like with French, my parents were teachers. They say you need to be engaging with things, watching French movies, listening to French music, getting a French friend online talking. You can't learn a language or an instrument and just kind of do it at this certain time of the day and then forget. You want to learn a language, it kind of has to be this entire thing. You don't... it's not an easy pass.
So in my mind, at a university, especially in the soft sciences, I mean, even in math and science, people have to spend crazy hours studying. So
poor bastards. Here are us complaining about us, and then all the music and all the science kids are like,
let's make a crazy generalization.
Yeah.
At university, anything that's in a large group setting, that's not like reliant on people being able to get together and have conversations and work together, whatever. Anything that's in a large group setting should be flexible.
Yeah, agreed. You have to.
Like, in this day and age when we have the technology to do that, when it's most of the time, because I get this stuff goes wrong. Like, most of the time it's trivially easy to record the lecture and have the lecture get put up within a reasonable time frame. I agree. So in one of my subjects, I'm not going to name, but in one of my subjects, the lectures were at, in the morning, and then there was a test that was due at like 2 p.m. or something. The video for the lecture would often come out after the test was due.
Oh, but see, that's not...
as in, if you miss the actual lecture,
you're stuck for the test.
When the Zoom's on, you're going to struggle with the test. And that sort of thing, in my mind, at a music school, is just... Yeah,
but at any school, that's just not on.
I suppose, in general. No. And especially when there are people coming from different time zones.
Yeah, we didn't even, you know what? Imagine the difference of like time zones and everything that would completely stuff up. And you bring up that, one thing I found very upsetting for my brain was the scheduled drama. Yeah. One class, I'm not going to name it, would have to take 1 hour. Yeah. And the videos would come out in parts. So the lecture, there'd be part 1, which would be 35 minutes. Then part 2, 45 minutes. And then part 3, an hour. And it's like, but I have a Zoom to get to. I can't fit all of this in an hour slot. But if you don't, you're stuck for the tutorial. You can't do it. You're sitting there going, well, I had to put it on fast and skip because... It was, and I couldn't fit them in. And if something doesn't fit, my brain is not happy.
I think here's the thing though. This situation has given us so much to complain about.
Oh, I literally just thought that in my head. What, this is...
Like, it feels like we've spent, 40 minutes
it's complaining.
More because the recording cut off.
Yeah.
Complaining about stuff.
Yeah, but...
I would like, here's the thing. Given the technology we have, like, I actually think that Canvas as a system, the LMS Unimel uses, has a lot of power.
It does. It's a great little platform when used correctly.
Yeah, this is the sort of thing that I really wish I couldn't be so pessimistic about. Like, I really wish it was like... I wish I could say we made it work.
Yeah. This isn't fun. Like, it's not fun to have it suck.
I mean, complaining is fun.
Complaining is fun, but having it suck isn't. But complaining is great. Yeah.
When you're in the thick of it, and there's like...
And there was nowhere else to enjoy it, and you're stuck. Yeah. And it sounds really like mopey, and of course people are in worse predicaments. Like, I can't imagine regional students who...
Exactly, and this is
I had some people tell me on my ADHD support group that some of their classes weren't classes. They would get sent a slideshow, and then that was it, and they couldn't have any contact with their teacher. So of course we're in a better position than most. But
well, I think it's since we are in, like since Unimel was so well
Yeah.
equipped, they, in some ways, in situations where it's regional or remote or whatever,
Yeah.
like a church like mission partner that I get their newsletter.
Yeah, yeah.
They are based in Timor-Leste.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So no internet for most of the people in their church. They were actually going around and dropping off contactless, like, resources like booklets and stuff, and running small groups over the phone. Wow.
And we say wow, but for them
that is a terrible situation.
Yeah.
But there's no one to blame.
No. Absolutely
it's not because anybody. It's not because someone failed to rise to the occasion.
No, absolutely not.
And I think the thing that makes it so frustrating with
and that shouldn't happen.
What we had last year, the thing that makes it frustrating is that we can pretty clearly see, like I said, a lot of little things that would have made
massive impact,
a massive difference.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's sad.
It really is.
It's quite sad.
Yeah.
Like I got a lot out of last year. I was, like I said, my piano teacher is just absolutely incredible. I'm so lucky to have him. I learnt a lot from him this year.
Mm-hmm. A clap for all the teachers.
a clap for all the teachers.
Yeah.
But
and sometimes I don't even think it's the teachers to blame necessarily. It's also like some teachers didn't know how to use the platform. Why is that?
Yeah.
Like, why wasn't there a seminar or something to guide them, you know?
And like my teacher was saying to me, they make them sit through all sorts of pointless meetings that could have been an email. It's like, why not make sure they're well equipped? I think the heart of my sadness over the last year has been, look, there's at least 40 minutes worth of complaining to be done. Yeah. I still got a lot out of it. And so what I'm kind of thinking is, well, I'm now a third of my way through my degree.
Going into second
year. What did I miss? It's a sad question to be asking. Like, the amount of like exponential progress, because like I'm coming at piano from someone who didn't practice very intensely when I was younger.
You did in year 12 though, I feel like.
I picked it, like I've gradually started to pick it up. Yeah. That's the thing. As I've become more passionate about it, I've picked it up. But that's meant that there've been gaps in my playing. And so the amount of like exponential progress I made when I was able to be in a room with this guy, because he's just incredible.
Right.
He teaches he's out of my league. He teaches way better students than me. And so, but the amount of like progress I was able to make in a room, going, this is what you're doing wrong with your finger technique,
and let me show you, and I'm right here with you.
Yeah. Here's how you practice double octaves. Yeah. Like I never had to do that before.
What's that?
It's like, it kind of like going back to coming full circle in some ways. Yeah. It kind of like I learned a lot from the written feedback he gave me. But like I find
written feedback so intimidating. I need it, but for me, like I love feedback, but I feel like when it's written, it's like,
oh yeah, like, and there was a couple of times where I got the same feedback twice, and it's like, I
must not be getting it.
Yeah.
You're trash. No.
But that's like, and that's the thing that's crazy about it. Like, I think he's upfront about what I need and where I need to improve, but he's also like just a really great guy. And so it's like, on the one hand, he was upfront with me about saying that I would be his weakest student. Because it's true,
I
right?
I would have cried.
No, but the thing is, when he also at the end of the semester says, you've done a good job, I'm proud of the progress you've made. That makes you go, yeah, he didn't mean you're my weakest student to be mean. He meant it because I'd be his weakest student.
I still, like, he didn't even say that to me, and I'm, like, hurt.
Right, no, but it's what I need to hear. Yeah,
no, like, even my music teacher, he said, I think you should consider taking theory classes. And I said, yeah, I've been thinking about that. He goes, yeah, you really need it. I was like, and I know I'm bad at theory, but having him say it in this lovely way, but it's like, you really need it.
But it's like, I just wonder, like, especially going into performance this year, how much higher the bar is. It's like, I wonder how much
we should almost do this again at the end of this year and see what has changed.
Yeah, I wonder how much I would have gotten out of a full year of in-person lessons with this guy.
I feel like I missed out. Like, I'm still trying to understand how I'm in my third year and that I'm graduating, because I feel like I've done fuck all. Like, and here's to say, I'm not trying to say that the arts degree isn't hard, but the arts degree for me has been a really wonderful, easy experience, minus online learning, that when you come out at the end, you're like, what did I do?
Yeah.
I wrote a few good essays.
Yeah.
A few good stories. What did I do? Because then I like look at all the biomed students, I'm thinking, they did so much more.
Yeah.
And they're going to get a job after this.
This is the thing with the soft disciplines, right?
It's like your imposter syndrome. Like, I deserve to be here and I work hard, but also like,
what am I doing with my life?
What am I doing? Like, what's that? Like, do my subjects correspond with my career?
Yeah. It's so hard to quantify.
Oh, yeah, that's a good question to think about. I should ask my audience, what do you think you missed out on being online? I'd like to know what they would. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, apart from my friends and my family, Mum's showing us, she got us cake. Wait, give us 1 sec, Mum. All right, so we're back. We had a food break.
Oh, that's so nice of her.
Yeah. So we were saying that, what did we miss out on? We don't know.
Well, yeah, that's always the thing. Like, I think there's some points where it's easier to quantify than others. Like, I think part of why choir was my worst experience for the year was because we went from, like, it's so easy to tell what you missed out on, because you go from this beautiful sound of
an atmosphere,
like a couple hundred people in Melba Hall, which is it's just the best, singing, Bruckner, to just, I mean, I'm
and Bog, even though I can't pronounce it right now.
I'm not a great singer, and so it's
Sam's
like
a pretty good singer, guys.
But like, compared to that, it's just me singing to myself.
Well, it's a bit sad.
It's so sad. Like, that EP, Amy's Earworms, don't listen to it. Because it's like one of the first things that I actually sang solo on.
I'm going to listen to it. You shouldn't have said that.
Yeah. But, like, also, feel free to, like, click away midway through it, because it's...
Don't click away.
Anyway, point being, like, it's just, you can so tell what you missed out on. Like, I'm not 100 people in Melba Hall.
No. I might be, though. You might be a little challenged in that area. I reckon. Well, thank you for coming on the podcast. It's actually been so good complaining with you.
I mean, it's been so long since we've sat down and had a proper chat.
I
so,
know.
Yeah, I
feel like it was more us just catching up, and people are just going to listen in the back. I'm like, what the fuck are they doing?
Well, that assumes they actually listen through. If you're still here, what is wrong with you?
Trent, we're so sorry. Trent edits all my podcasts. So.
All right. Yeah. So, thank you so much for having me.
No, thank you.
We should do this again sometime.
We will.
We didn't even touch on, like, actual music.
I know.
Let alone, like, theology or anything, which is whole other can of worms.
We gotta do that. But I feel like before that, I need to brush up on theology. You know what? We should have my dad on. You and him have a chat.
That would be cool.
I reckon.
Your dad's, like, into Catholic stuff, yeah?
He's into Catholic. Well, he taught, he studied theology. He was at ACU. Yep.
Oh.
So, yeah. It's part of his teaching. And he taught RE at Penola Catholic College. Yeah. So he went through the Catholic education system. Mm-hmm. So
that would be an interesting conversation. I haven't actually met him yet.
Wait, didn't you meet him at my party?
No, I met your mum, and then as I was like, I had to leave.
Yeah. Damn it.
I know.
It's gonna happen. He was on his bloody bike today. He was like, I'm riding. But if you're still listening, guys, thank you, and we hope you learned something.
Yeah, hope you're staying safe and healthy out there.
Don't drink too much. Don't party too hard. But given the circumstances,
look after yourself.
Yeah, wash your hands. Don't cough on people, and wear a fucking mask. America.
I think that's a good topic.